Now, it would be easy for me to sit here after the event with the benefit of hindsight and say Danny's picked a crap team and blah blah blah. But genuinely, before the game, I looked at the team and I thought, yeah, decent side that. Beadle in goal, back three, Valerie, Bernard, Firmao, midfield, Valentin, Charles, Bannon, Marvin Johnson, Ingleson, Jamal Lowe and Gassama up front. I did. I'm not going to lie about it after the event and so I knew it was a shit team before kick-off. Because I looked at it, Marvin Johnson played very well last game, you know, Bernard, Firmao, been playing well. Bannon and Charles, two really good midfield players. Ingleson's had a mare tonight, but before kick-off, I'm not going to lie, I looked at what he'd done against Coventry and I thought he had a really positive performance in that same position. I thought, yeah, I'm alright with that. Jamal Lowe come in Saturday. I thought he looked sharp front bench. Thought he showed that little bit of know-how and that little bit of awareness and trickiness there. And I thought, yeah, I'm happy with that team. And then game started. Oh, God. Sometimes, you know, you'll be like me, you'll have seen hundreds of games over the years, hundreds of Wednesday games, England games, you know, you'll watch other teams, European games on telly or whatever it is, Sunday League games, kids games, and sometimes, you know, when in first 10 minutes, I could go home now because there's not going to be any goals here. Sometimes you just know. And tonight, one of them nights, you just like, yeah, not happening here. No, I've seen some great 0-0s over here, some really exciting ones where you come away and you're talking to your mates and you're saying, what a game, he got everything, sendings off, chances, brilliant saves by goalkeeper, penalty saves, misses. Only thing it was missing was a goal. This were not like one of them. Turgid, pedestrian, short of ideas, short of energy, short of know-how, no cohesion. I'm going to have to nip in there and get, you know, thesaurus out because I'm running out of words to. It's a really, really poor game of football. Not just us, by the way. They weren't any great shakes, and I think that's what's disappointed me most tonight. You know, we played Burnley on Saturday, missed a couple of gilt-edged chances. But overall, it's a 2-0 defeat, and I thought, you know, I think we've played all right here, you know, against a very good team, a very well-organised team. But I'm disappointed tonight, not just that we haven't won, but the level of performance was really disappointing. There was no punch to it, there was no zest, there was no verve, no ideas. Like I said, there was a lethargy all throughout. I mean, it was alright for 5 minutes at the beginning, to be honest. So, you know. I'm trying to think of any highlights at game, honestly. They hit post. I actually think Beadle might have got an hand to that, so maybe. But it got on for their kid, knew much about it. Set pieces. Oh, set pieces. Talked about it on Saturday how disappointed I think we are at set pieces. How short of ideas we are and this sort of, but you know what, you could come up with 1,000 corner routines. It don't matter if you can't get ball in box. I mean, Ingleson, I stuck up for him the other week. I think it worked Coventry game. I said, oh, do you know what? Looks like he's got a decent corner on him because he whipped about 3 or 4 really quality corners in that game. So I saw him amble over today to take a couple and I thought, oh yeah, you know. Awful. Awful. From the school of Darren Potter. You know, and I actually thought that was a bar that couldn't be limbo danced under in terms of quality of corners, and then Charles went over and Straight out. There were a couple of decent balls. You know, I'm scratching here to try and find positives. A couple of decent balls from Marvin Johnson, who, by the way, was man of the match tonight. Again, this time with no real contenders alongside him, I don't think. Perhaps Jamal Lowe. Couple of brilliant balls into the box from Marvin Johnson. Nobody's even attempted to get at end of him. Nobody's attempted to get at end of him. You know, when I was younger, when you played with your mates, you'd always have that kid who just hung about in goal, you know, in 18-yard box, and everyone would be like, "Nah, greedy bastard, get back, do some work." But bog liners, goal hangers, just waiting there to sniff, take up glory, you know. And even when you were playing 3 and in or headers and volleys, get out. But we want someone like that now. Get in there, be a bog lining bastard. I could see Mav chuck arms up actually a couple of times. He put great balls in and nobody at end of it, nobody even looking like getting at end of it. I'm disappointed because these are the team we should be getting results against. You know, Burnley, I thought we played well, we lost. I can take that on the chin because I get them games, I always say, what you take from them, bonus. These games, you know, Swansea, Portsmouth, these are games you've got to win. You've got to. And like I said, if it was a 0-0 where I've seen a performance, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. Sometimes you don't get a break, sometimes things don't go your way. But we could be playing now. I mean, what time am I? It's 20 past 11. We could be playing now. Be no nearer to scoring a goal. The substitutions. But I thought Lowe comes off. After Marvin Johnson, I thought Lowe was our best player. You know, now and again, you know, players get subbed off and they chuck shirt down and you think, you know, you mardy bastard. If he chucked shirt down tonight, I wouldn't have blamed him. I thought he was one of our only lively players. They gave me heartburn. That performance has given me heartburn. Pato comes on with what? How many minutes left? You need 90 minutes of that. I know. There are people out there who don't. He's not a great footballer. If we want to get to the Premier League, we need better. I know, I've heard all these arguments before. But sometimes, in a shit game like that, and it was a shit game, two teams who both played shit in different ways. But you've got to have someone who just sparks that bit of energy, or somebody who comes in and just wins a tackle and gets things going. And I'd have had him at half time. And I said, get on there and fucking show these. Bash somebody about. Fucking make a nuisance of yourself. It was so pedestrian. And like I said, the disappointing thing, these are the games. These are the games. Sunderland, Burnley, Leeds, whatever. But these, and that we've got a rate trip down there now to Portsmouth, and no. It'll have to be twice as good as that. I thought two lads in middle, Bannon and Charles, I thought they looked tired. I mean, you can never accuse Bannon of not trying stuff, but he was so desperately poor tonight that he'd reverted back to trying to find them 60 and 70 yard desperation passes that he was having to do under Gary Monk when we were playing shite, just to try and do something. Ugbo, come on. Alright, he's probably 4 foot taller than me, but he looked like a little boy lost. And like I said, it's easy in hindsight, and managers pick wrong team and blah, blah, blah. But before kick-off, and I think if you're honest with yourselves, not too many people would have said, well, that's a bad side. I think most of us would have said, yeah, that is a team that is more than good enough to get a result against these. Who can't get a win on the road, by the way. Bernard, thought he had a decent game. I really am desperately trying to find positives. Clean sheet. A clean sheet and we haven't lost. That's a positive. I always like a clean sheet, but then your chances of getting a clean sheet are improved when you're playing a team who were as poor as they were. Honestly. It was a bore fest. It was a real bore fest. Did we have a shot on target? I'm trying to think. 90 minutes, I'm struggling. Now you have days, we all have shit days at work, I have shit days at work, you have shit days at work, we all have shit days at work. You have games when your passing's off. You have games where you might misjudge an header. You might have a game where you don't, you react rather than get in there and anticipate. But what you can always do every week is put your centre back. It doesn't matter how poorly you're playing, your passing might be off, your finishing might be off. You can always put your centre back. You can always run. You can always run. But a little jogging tonight, a lot of jogging, a lot of... Tonight's game was like when you get out of your car to nip in a shop and see it very slowly rolling down an hill, and there's no point even grabbing hold of the door handle because you're not going to be able to stop it. It's such a poor performance. We can sit here, and I do, and we can talk about formations, we can talk about tactics, we can talk about whether we're going to go out and press teams or whether we're going to sit off teams and play on counter-attack and this sort of thing. But sometimes it's not that, is it? Sometimes it's just heart. It's about character. It's about personality and getting out there. And the issue is, another issue here. We're not a team who can afford to have more than one player have a bad game. Some teams, one player can have a bad game, other 10 will get them through. Very good teams, you can have two players. Man City can probably have a game where two players have a bad game and they'll still get through. We're not one of them teams. We're a team where we need all 11 or 12 or 13 or 14 to be on it. We can't afford anybody to have a weak link game. We haven't lost. That's a positive. Clean sheet. That's a positive. Marv put a couple of decent balls in. That's positive. But mind you, in me gloom, I nearly forgot. How is that not a penalty? I'm not going to just go, and if you haven't seen it, go and watch it. How is that not a penalty? But referees in this division are absolutely terrible, so you can't rely on them. You can't be going out and going, refs cost us that game, because no, you can't rely on it, because you don't get decisions. You've got to win games without them clowns getting in the way. I'm going to try not to be down about it. Hopefully by Friday this will be a long distant memory that's very, very easily forgotten. Years back, season ticket on Cop with a couple of mates. So at left hand side. And there were a couple in front of us, and she took a book. And she weren't just reading book at half time. She was reading book in first half. My mate went, pay all that money for a ticket, who brings a book to a football match? Okay, not you could have took War and Peace tonight. You could have probably finished it by the time we look like scoring a goal. Just got to put it behind us and back to the dream board. But our inability to look really threatening in attack is, I don't know. Flat atmosphere, and I've had loads of messages from mates tonight. Flat as a fart, Jim, flat as a fart. And you have got to get behind the team, you know, when things aren't going well, but fucking hell. You've got to give people a bit of something to get behind. Whether it's a flattening some bastard by going up for a fucking aerial challenge or smashing somebody into the dugouts, you've got to do something at them moments in games, them lulls to just get people off seats and cheering or booing or whatever it is. You've got to. It's a circle, innit? You've got to do something to get people going, don't they? I don't know what he does at Portsmouth. I think we're going to have to start having a look at two up front. I know, dinosaur football. Two up front. You and you get up there. You smash them about and you just fucking stand between posts and don't fucking move and just stand there and wait for the ball to fucking come in. Don't go out to channel. Don't get chasing stuff at corner flag. Don't come dropping in looking for feet. Stay up there and fucking wait. Not calm. But I think we might have to. Might have two up front. Oh, God. I don't usually get over emotional about it or try and be rational. But that was such a poor game of football. I don't know what you do. I'd stick Pato up there with Jamal Lowe and to just bash him about Pato and let Lowe get in round you and feed off scraps in a little satellite round, or maybe you could chuck Smithy in and ask him to do the same job, I don't know. Extra body in middle, maybe just gives a bit more bollocks in there, and oh, I don't know. Friday's another game, innit? Friday's another game, chance to get back on saddle and see what we can do, but okay, now. Wind us back at least, that's something. You know. He does tend to step up when you need him. Big moments. And I do think we need a result on Friday because, like I said, Burnley, whoever, Sunderland. But these, Portsmouth, QPR, Cardiff, Swansea, teams down here, you've got to be getting results. You've got to be making them work. You've got to be making their keeper work. Anyway, I'll see you Friday.